guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Belinda. It's lovely to have you here. To my returning subscribers, that little group of mine, thank you so much for returning and for tuning in. Your support is appreciated. And to the newcomers and the people who still show their support but don't subscribe, I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribe to my channel. The support is appreciated, and yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. So today's topic is a bit of a story time, and I'm going to be talking about how important it is to trust your gut, to just trust that feeling inside of you that's like letting you know that okay, something seems off or something doesn't make sense. So thank you so much for tuning in, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'll be having some red wine while I film this video. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm still waiting for my new mic, my small mic. So yeah, it's gonna be quite a while before I get it, because I had to order it from a different place and it's taking a bit of a while, but we're gonna make do with what we have. We are going to make it work. So a little backstory on this and why I feel like it's something that we need to talk about. You know how sometimes you will have to go somewhere, you'll have to go out with your friends, you'll have to go to town, wherever, and you just don't feel like it, like you're dragging your feet and you're literally forcing yourself to go there. Nothing seems to be working out and you don't understand where it stems from. You're trying to get ready and your outfit doesn't make sense, or you're just late, but inside you feel really weird. You feel like I shouldn't be going here. I feel like I'm forcing myself. I feel like I'm forcing things. um I'd rather just be at home, but then you end up going just because you don't want to disappoint the people that you've made plans with, and you also don't want to come off as a bad person or in a negative connotation, or to have people perceive you in a negative way. So that's sort of what happened to me, until I realized how important it is for me to listen to my body, to listen to my gut, to understand when my body or my senses are trying to tell me something, when they're trying to warn me against something, or trying to show me that I could, be in possible danger, or whatever the case may be. So a year and a half ago, I used to live at RES. If you don't know what RES is a school residence for university students, right? So previously, I think 2 or 3 months prior to that day, I got a text from I have a friend of mine, and her other friend sent me a text, and they were like, our friend's birthday is coming along and we would like to throw a little surprise party for her, do something special for her. So I was like, yeah, that's cool, I'm down for it. Like, do you guys have a plan setting place? Do you know what you want to do? Do you have a venue, or are we doing it at her place? I was just asking all the right questions in order for me to understand if they've done their work, or we still need to start and put everything together. So they're like, yeah, we've sorted everything out. We even spoke to an outlet owner. He said he's willing to do everything, but we have a certain amount that we need to pay in order for us to book not only his venue, but for us to get meals, as in food, and for us to get alcohol. So yeah, it was a great deal, and we were going to be contributing 200 rands per person, because there was a large group of us. So with the amount that he gave us in total was enough. came accumulated English accumulated to us having to contribute 200 per person. I think there was like 7 or 8 of us. I don't remember properly. So we set everything up. We were just sorting everything out. We were just sorting everything out, figuring out the logistics, everything cool. So her other friends that couldn't make it, one offered to do her hair for free because she's a hairstylist, and then another one offered to buy her an outfit. And I think, yeah, the other one did her nails for her. So everything else was just like sorted. Like the surprise just, it came together. It came together. So they made the outlet owner made us a flyer, and he put her picture there, and it was announced that it was going to be our friend's birthday celebration, which was, it was just a great concept overall, and it was a great deal, and we were so excited about it. So, upon planning everything and putting a theme together as to who's going to wear what, what's going to happen, we started to have disagreements. I think that is something that is very normal. We started having disagreements, and I remember just having a bit of a quarrel with this other girl who was just constantly fighting everyone's idea. Like, if someone comes up with an idea, like, okay, let's wear pink shirts, she fights it. Let's wear this, she fights it. And I remember getting so angry, and I just told her, I said, you know what? You are not even coming with ideas. You are shutting everyone down. And I don't like this. Can you please stop it? It's either you're going to participate, or I don't want to associate myself with you guys anymore. I'll give Zotwa the money, and I will just exclude myself from this because you are literally ruining this whole thing for everyone. So I ended up leaving the group, and then I texted Zotwa on the side, and I'm like, Zotwa, I'll give you money for the occasion, but I'm not coming. This girl is ruining my vibe, and honestly, I can't stand people who do that, because I could already imagine how bad she was going to be on the day of the event, and we were at that point like still putting everything together, but the venue and everything else was settled. Cool. So upon me actually leaving the group and just deciding that I no longer want to be part of it, um my friend's friend texts me at a later stage, and she's like, oh my gosh, babe, I hope you still want to be part of this. We sorted everything out, but we ended up excluding the other girl from the group, because she was now causing problems for everyone. And we all now realize that you were not being unreasonable when you were fighting her and telling her she needs to at least try and participate, rather than being a negative Nancy and constantly just trying to fight everyone for no reason. So I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, anyway, the outlet owner still wants to do this thing with us, so this is the date, this is the time, this is how everything is going to run. So okay, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, it's going to be cool. So on the Friday I went home, and on the Saturday morning I was actually supposed to go to Velcom because there was a pageant that I was part of, but I ended up not going because they had to cancel it due to the event organizers, I think, having a bit of a communication problem with the other people. So we ended up not going. So I remember waking up that morning, and I was just chilling, but I really, 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 I knew I had to go back to rest so that I'm closer to where the event was going to be, but I just didn't want to go. And it was a really weird feeling, because I didn't understand where it stems from. So okay, cool. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this for my friend. So I start to get ready. And I remember I was with a friend of mine. I was at my friend's place at the time. And while I'm with my friend, she's like, you seem like you don't want to leave. And I'm like, I genuinely don't want to go. I don't know what's wrong. My gut just feels somehow. I just feel somehow, but I'm going to go in support of my friend, because we're doing something really nice for her, and I know she would love to have me there. So I end up getting ready, doing my makeup, finishing everything, and then my brother comes to pick me up, and then he takes me to rest. And then when I get to rest, I changed my outfit, so at least my makeup was done. So I changed my outfit. I pack a small nyana overnight bag, and then I go to Sibukeng. Okay, I go to Sibukeng. When I get to Sibukeng, they had already gotten to the venue, but my friend was like, okay, I'll come, I'll meet you halfway, just let me know when you get off, and yeah, I'll come see you. So I get on a cab, I request a cab, and then it comes to get me and it takes me there. I get there and I let my friend know, hey, here. She's like, okay, which street is it dropping you off? Because it was the guy who was driving me was refusing to go that far. It was a bit too far. So I was like, no, it's fine. Even if you drop me off here, I'll be very close to where I'm going. So he drops me off, and then my friend comes to get me, and we are happy. I'm starting to feel the vibe. We get to the venue. The venue is beautiful. The setup is beautiful. Everything is perfect. So that outlet owner, shout out to him. He made everything just pizzazz. He made everything pop. It was beautiful. I don't want to lie. It was even more than I expected for the amount of money that we had to pay. And so we got there, and they brought our drinks, they brought our food, the music was playing, the DJs were coming through. It was great. We were having fun, we were conversating. It was great. It was just a great vibe. So at the time I was dating this other guy, so he came to see me, and he's like, oh, how are you doing, is everything okay? And I remember him asking me like, do you have transport to take you back home? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go back home actually. Today I'm gonna sleep here because we were planning on drinking the whole night. However, thank you, you know. And he's like, okay, just let me know if you need anything, or if you know anything happens. I'm like, no, don't worry, I'm good, you don't have to worry about me. So we're chilling, it's fun. And I remember the outlet owner coming to where we're sitting, like constantly just coming to check up on us, like, are you guys still okay? Are you guys still okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And I remember one of my friends asking me if I realized that he likes me. And I'm like, no, there's no way that he likes me. He's just being nice. And she's like, hmm. And now, so after I think an hour or so, he comes again to, like, you know, check on us, and he's like, are you okay? Like, are you good? And then eventually he comes to me and he asks what my name is, and he asks for my number. And now I'm like, okay, that girl was right. And yeah, I remember just giving it to him because I like wanted us to have fun. So I was like, oh, let me just give it to him so he stops, you know, bothering us and stuff. Okay, cool. So I give it to him, and yeah, he stops, eventually stops bothering us and whatnot. And then he came back a bit later again, and then when he came back, he was like, so because it was still during the COVID times, they were going to close, I think, at about 10 or 11 o'clock. The curfew was somewhere between 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So he came, and when he came, he's like, since the curfew time says they're closing at a specific time, if you guys want, you guys can stay, and I'll lock you guys inside, and you guys will carry on partying inside for however long you guys want to continue partying. And after he said that, I remember asking the other girls, like, are you guys comfortable with that? Is that something that you guys want to do? And they're like, no, we have another place that we want to go to. I didn't know this place. So I was like, oh, okay, is it a nice place? And they're like, yeah, it's cool, you're gonna love it there. So I let him know. I'm like, no, they don't want to stay. They apparently we are going to another place. And then he's like, oh, okay, that's cool. But he keeps asking about it, like, are you guys sure you don't want to stay? Are you guys sure you don't want to stay? And I'm like, no, I can't force them to stay. So if they don't want to stay, they don't want to stay. And I remember we were just having fun, man. We were drinking, we were taking videos, we were just having fun. But I could not shake this feeling off inside me. Like, I was just not relaxed. I was not relaxed. I was not being myself, but I was trying my best to not ruin the mood for everyone else. So I was just going with the flow, just making sure that we're having fun and we're just having a vibe, you know? So this is where the plot twist comes. This is where everything just goes south. So we go outside and we get into two cars. So there's two cars outside. We get into the two cars. We're going to the second venue because this venue is about to close. I think it's at about 10 o'clock now, 10 or 11 o'clock. And then we go, we pack everything, our booze, everything, and then we go to the second venue. So when we get to the second venue, we're like, ah, we don't feel like going inside. So we're still cool outside. We're standing outside. We are like still drinking, conversing, just, yeah, a lot is just going on. There are people who, there's like food stalls, so some people are like buying food, and we are just having a ball. But I'm still feeling very weird, especially when we got to this venue, because it's the type of place that I usually don't go to. So I was kind of feeling very uncomfortable, but I was like, you know what, I'm with my friend and her friends, and I think we'll be fine here. Guys, when I tell you everything went south, I remember we were standing, right? We were standing, and then we went to this other house. It's not too far. I think it's like two houses away from where the area is, the place is that we were at now. So we go to that house, and I don't remember. I think we were talking to two guys who are there, who are just asking us if we don't want to chill inside the yard, since we're standing outside and we're not going into that outlet. I think maybe they sort of knew what would happen, or they just felt like being nice to us. So we're like, no, we're fine. And I remember us walking towards that outlet that we were standing outside. And as we were walking towards that outlet, I don't remember what we were going to do. But I know that we were now coming together, and we were asking each other, like, should we go inside or should we stay outside? We didn't want to separate. So at that point, everyone had been standing everywhere, and some were talking to some people. So we ended up standing outside, like near the gate, right? Cool. So as we were standing near the gate, right in front of us, a fight breaks out. And I mean a fight. So it was a fight between one guy that my friend and her friends know, who plays for a local soccer team, and just a normal guy. So, but this normal guy is apparently part of a gang. So a fight breaks out, and they start hitting each other. So apparently they had been having a quarrel earlier on throughout the day. Like earlier on, let me say at about a few hours before we got there, but it died down. So it started again as soon as they bumped into each other. So now they are quarreling, guys. These people are quarreling, and they are fighting, like physically fighting. So one of the guy's friends, the one who is not a soccer player, the one who is part of a gang, calls his other friends. He calls them and he lets them know that they are involved in a fight and they need to come. When I tell you, a car that was standing right in front of us, like there was a car and then there was the fight, right in front of us, and that car just reversed really quickly, and everyone was shocked because this car was just standing, it was stationary. It reversed, and as it is reversing, it turns, right? And then after it turns, it just drives away, like in a flash. It just drives away. So we are like, so now people are moving towards the people that are fighting, right? And they're stopping them, they're putting them away. You guys need to stop fighting. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So there's just a lot going on now. And then eventually the fight stops, and we think the drama is over. We're just like, and I'm thinking to myself, because I hardly ever go to those types of outlets and stuff, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I hate this. I hate being in an area where fights just break out of nowhere, and people start fighting, and there's just a lot of swearing and quarreling. I hate being in those types of situations, because 9 times out of 10 you will get caught in the drama some way or another. Either a bottle's gonna fly and hit you, or you get hit by mistake, or whatever. So The fight has stopped, right? And we are still standing outside near the gate. I remember I was with this other girl who happens to be my friend's friend. And as we are standing there, the same car that was reversing just came flying in. Guys, it was moving so fast. And I don't know how, but I feel like everyone who was outside knew that we had to move. Because immediately when that car stopped, we all ran. Like when I say ran, we ran. Listen, we ran. And we were close to the gate, so we ran inside the outlet, right? We started running. And I remember because it was a lot of people and a small space because they had not opened the gate all the way. So the gate was open and there was just a small space. This other guy pushed me and I tripped, right? And as I tripped, I was holding my bag and my bag opened and my purse and my makeup bag fell out of my bag. But I didn't even notice that because wow, I was fighting for my life. I was so afraid of dying. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just knew that I was afraid of dying. So immediately after I got inside, this guy screams, whose makeup bag is this and whose purse is this? And I saw them and I recognized them right away. The door was closed. They closed the gate immediately after we got inside. And I remember saying, thank you so much, but thankfully I didn't have much money in my purse because I usually just carry my card. But obviously my card was in there and all my other cards, but I really didn't care because wow, whatever was happening outside, it sounded crazy. So I remember just thanking him and taking them, and then we walked. Me and this girl walked. My friend's friend. We walked and we went. There were two toilet stalls, and then on the other side was just an open space, and we stood there because we wanted to make sure that as soon as these people get in, we don't want to be seen. So when you're inside, you can hear what is happening outside, right? So we are inside and we can hear that outside it's going down. These people are throwing bottles. The other one has a gun, and apparently he was shooting everywhere. Like he was just shooting. He was just going crazy, and they were looking for my friend whose birthday we are hosting. They were looking for her and this other girl. Apparently they wanted to, because this guy who was fighting with their friend knows them, and apparently they were the ones who tried to stop the fight. The other guys wanted them. I don't know if they wanted to fight them or whatnot, but they were looking for them. Listen, a few moments after we got into that store, they walked in. They were telling the outlet owner, it's either you're going to open this gate so that we can come and look for the person that we're looking for, or we are going to break this gate down. You have a choice. And if we break this gate down, we're going to hurt everyone who's inside. So they ended up opening the gate and those guys went in. And apparently they were looking for my friend, another girl, and that guy who was fighting. But apparently the guy who was fighting, that other guy had left already after they had fought the other time. So they are walking inside thankfully they didn't come to where we were, but they were walking, and I remember just hearing a silence, like an awkward silence. So I think people were just so afraid they didn't want to say anything, and these people that were apparently walking around looking for my friend, this girl, and that guy. They were just walking, and in my head I'm thinking, where's everyone else? As in everyone that we were with. So over time, they didn't find them and then they left. I don't know where my friend left, but I'll let you guys know as the story proceeds. So they are looking for these people. They're walking around. They are sussing around. Listen, it's just drama at this point. And then eventually they leave. They get into the car and they leave, right? So after some time, we hear this guy say, at least it's safe to walk out now. And everyone's just like, we're going home. We're done. We are just going home. And I remember us just peeping to see what was going on, like the situation, and then we could see that people were now walking out. And so we also decided that, okay, cool, let us also walk out. So we walk out, and now we're looking for everyone that we were with. We are walking out, and then as soon as we walk out the gate, we start to see the people that we're with. So we go to them. So they were at that house where that guy who was asking us to chill there, inside his yard, they were there. So they were hiding there. So my friend was hiding in the toilet stall. They have an outside toilet. Like if you live at Kasi, you know it's very normal to have a toilet outside of your house. So she hid inside the toilet outside, and then her friend hid inside inside the house with the other girls, and the other girls went to into other people's yards. It was crazy. And I remember just getting there, and everyone was just shook by what happened. And they were like, yo, those people were shooting, they were throwing bottles. And I remember looking back and trying to see where the people with the stalls were, and those people had actually hit those people's stuff. Like if there was, I remember the other one had a pen with because he was selling chips, and they threw those chips on the floor. The oil was on the floor. It was a mess. It was a mess. There was another one who was selling chicken. They didn't do anything to him though. So I guess he was lucky, but I remember he packed everything up and he left immediately. Guys, when I tell you, it was so scary. And I remember when we got to that guy's place, we find my friend, we find her other friends, everyone's coming out now, and we're talking like, guys, what's going on? Why are they looking for you guys? Like, what's going on? And my friend is like, no, I think they're looking for me because I was the one who was stopping my friend, who is the soccer player, from hitting the other guy. So I don't know, maybe they think that I was like, you know, insinuating the fight or whatnot. It was so much drama, guys. So much drama. I have never been that afraid for my life. And I usually, when I go out, I go to really safe places, like the places that I know that I go out to. Like there's hardly ever any fights, and as soon as you want to leave, you can leave. There's no drama. But oh my gosh, that day I felt like I was gonna lose my life. I was so scared. Now I understood why my gut was off the whole time. So as soon as we started talking and everyone's discussing like what happened and what was going on, we were all just trying to figure out what was going on. And now, listen to this. My friend and her friend are like, oh no, we want to leave. Ma'am, it's like 1 a.m. in the morning. You want us, first of all, the people that were driving us there left as soon as the drama started. You want us, it's 1 a.m. in the morning, you want us to walk back home after what happened? What if we bump into those guys? I remember just telling them, I'm not walking home. If you guys want to go, it's fine, because that guy had said, no, let's chill inside my house, and then in the morning I'll help you guys get home. Oh my gosh. And then my friend was like, no, but she's right, let's stay put, and let's just, you know, let's relax. We'll leave in the morning when it's safer to do so. After all, we're all females, and we're not gonna force this guy to now walk us home just because we want to get home. And we sat and listened the whole night. We were just, you know, shook by what had happened. You know, we were just shook. There was so much drama. Everyone's just talking about the experience, like how scary it was. So this is why it's important to trust your gut, guys. You don't want to find, like, nothing happened to me. The worst that happened was that it was just that I scraped my knee when I tripped, when I was trying to run away. But when I think about it, and I'm like, okay, so what if I hadn't run? Who knows what could have happened? Because those people are gang members, and they literally went to fetch the other gang members, because apparently like 7 guys came out of that car as soon as it landed. So anything could have happened, you know. So it's so important, guys, for you to trust your gut and to make sure that you never get yourself in crazy situations that are life threatening. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and listening to my story time. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have ever had any weird experiences, or any experiences where your gut kept telling you not to go somewhere, and then you had a bad thing happen to you, and it finally made sense as to why your gut was feeling somehow. So thank you so much for tuning in, and from me to you, it's all love.